Today is the day. I am finally gonna make something with these oyster mushrooms that I finally found at my store because I could never find them before. Today we are making vegan oyster mushroom carnitas, and I only have 1 hour to do it, so I hope that we can manage to make it and that they turn out good because I've never made these before. Fingers crossed! Here are the oyster mushrooms straight out of the package. I've never worked with these before. They look super weird and unusual. One of them kind of looks like an octopus, like they're all just growing out of one stem at the bottom, and they look a little psychedelic, but here we go. So I'm not exactly sure how to clean these. I saw one recipe video where the lady cooking said to peel the little brown part off the mushrooms, so that's what I started doing. But looking at my big batch of mushrooms, I thought, no, that's gonna take way too long, forget that. These are gonna get cooked anyways, so hopefully that'll kill whatever germs might be on there. So next I just started shredding the mushrooms with a fork to try to make it kind of like a pulled pork carnitas texture. But after a while of using the fork, I got kind of tired of that and I just went at it with my hands. So that's what I decided to do. Just shred it by hand. It was a lot faster and more efficient than using a fork. So here's that octopus looking oyster mushroom that I was talking about. I'm just pulling it apart to get all the individual mushroom pieces out of there, and then I'm going to tear these up into little shredded pieces and put them in a bowl. As I'm tearing these, I'm sort of alternating between having really little thin strips of mushroom and leaving some thicker pieces, just so I can get a feel for a variety of textures and kind of see which texture I like. In the end, by the time these were done cooking, I did end up liking the thinner pieces more because they got crispier, but feel free to experiment with whatever size pieces that you like. And here's more or less what the mushrooms should look like once you're done tearing them up. Okay, now I'm going to marinate these mushrooms with some orange juice, a splash of soy sauce, and I'm gonna mix that together to just coat all of the mushrooms evenly. I ended up adding some extra soy sauce to this. For the other seasonings, I'm using onion powder, garlic powder, smoked paprika, cumin, black pepper, turmeric for color to liven it up, and a little bit of salt, which may not be necessary depending on how much soy sauce you use. And then we just mix it together to coat it evenly. Normally I don't like to cook with oil, but for this special recipe I wanted these to be crispy, so I just coated the bottom of a pan with a little bit of oil and added in my seasoned oyster mushrooms. Then I just stirred them in the pan for a bit and let them brown on one side before flipping them over and getting as much crispiness as I could out of them. This is what they'll start to look like after a few minutes. They'll definitely shrink in volume. This was actually 2 8-ounce packages of oyster mushrooms, so 16 ounces. Hello, math. And you'll see that they definitely get more and more crispy on the bottom and develop really nice smell and texture as you go along. Now you could definitely stop cooking them at this stage and just use them like that for your carnitas, but I wanted mine to be even crispier, so I transferred them over to a toaster oven pan and I put them in the toaster oven at 450 degrees for about 10 to 15 minutes to crisp up. And here's how they look out of the toaster oven. You can see the thin pieces definitely got crispy. There's still some thicker meaty pieces in there as well, and that's how they look. To serve these, I'm gonna just make some very simple tacos with tortillas, beans, and the carnitas. And so I am deglazing the bottom of this pan with some water, and I'm gonna just toss in a can of organic refried beans that are vegan, This is my can opener. It's a Hamilton Beach can opener, and the reason I love it is because when you use it, it doesn't leave any sharp edges around the can, so I'll show you what I mean. The lid just pops right off. If you have leftover food in your can, you could even just put it back on and put it in the fridge. I'll put a link below if you want to check it out. For now, our water is deglazing all those yummy brown carnitas bits from the bottom of the pan. And now this might look a little weird, but another benefit to the special Hamilton Beach can opener, you can actually just shake out all the beans from the can and it comes out nice and clean like that. I know it looks super weird, but it's a lot easier than scooping it out manually with a spoon and leaving some bits in there. So there we go. If you're lazy and you don't want to make your own refried beans, just use that. See? Look how clean that can looks. So nice. So I just kind of break up the beans and add extra water if needed just to get it kind of smooth, but that's going to infuse those refried beans with some of that carnitas flavor. When I told my mom I was making mushroom carnitas, she was like, "Mushroom carnitas?" So she tried it and this is what she had to say.
Buena. Sí.
Here are the oyster mushroom carnitas tacos. I kept mine pretty simple with just beans and cabbage to top, but definitely add whatever salsas or other toppings that you like. So here we go, I'm gonna try these out. Yum, yum, yum. I found that the carnitas on their own taste a little bit buttery, but they are salty. The flavor isn't, I would say, spot on, but I'm sure if I were to tweak this and play with the seasonings a bit, we could get it pretty close to carnitas. On a side note, my husband loved these carnitas tacos. I will be making them in the future again. As always, if you enjoyed this video, please give the video a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss future videos, which I share every Sunday. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next week. Bye!